We didn't do an intro for this. Let's figure it out after. Do it after the review.
Hey. We're Wages of Sin.
Wages of Sin. I'm Jeremy Garcia.
I'm Dan Beck.
I'm Stephen Gillum. What are we watching today? We're reviewing, Howard.
We watched Angel Maker, Serial Killer Queen.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
True story. Documentary. It was a documentary.
Documentary.
Which I believe is the first Wages of Sin documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd, like I guess low budget documentary.
Yeah, it's 60 minutes.
Yeah.
What's the synopsis?
In the 19th century, England controlled the biggest empire that the world has ever seen. But behind the facade, there was darkness hiding an unimaginable evil. Within this world lived Amelia Dyer, the world's most prolific serial killer, who starved and strangled over 400 innocent babies. Explore inconceivable recesses of humanity in this shockingly true story of human darkness and depravity at the turn of the century.
And felt the same way I did as you were reading the synopsis as I did watching the film. Tired.
England in the 19th century. Victoria is on the throne. The nation is at its height. And yet, behind the glow of this supposedly golden age, there lay hidden human misery and extremes of depravity. Baby farming flourished and businesses were set up around the country. Newspapers ran advertisements offering money for children or expecting mothers, who were then put out on the street again once the child was born. This, in that glorious Victorian era of grand buildings and statements of imperial power. Amelia Dyer learned of an easy way to earn a living.
You like history.
I do.
You like documentaries.
I do.
And you like serial killers.
I do. I'm fascinated with all that stuff. I watch a lot of it on Netflix. I watch it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
You watched that at Wages in the Studio, too.
I do. I did watch it here. And,
in a comfortable barber chair.
okay, so here's the thing. This story is something that is fascinating, and it's something that should be told, and told through a film medium and any other medium, whatever. But that part had me interested, and it wasn't until about halfway through the film until we started to really kind of feel the. I don't even know how to describe it. What was it that we discovered through halfway through the film?
Well, I checked out about 10 minutes in, and I just started. I'm not a documentary person, and based on a true story, that sounds interesting. I mean, this is a real person. This really happened. But the visuals I was seeing and his voice, I already checked out, and I started surfing on my phone. But
With the visuals. Those were stock photos. Archive photos and
video.
From
like
Jekyll and Hyde and a couple other old films.
Well, which brings me to the first problem of the film is that the imagery that the director chose to use just didn't make sense. It just
it's like stretch.
It was. It's like they took this footage that they found from like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and they were like, "Well, this is 18th century.
Perfect.
Let's use this." And so they used clips that were just like
cops running down the street,
and it's just
but it was like talking about her younger years, and she
and it was very awkwardly placed, awkwardly used footage.
Amelia grew up in a insane asylum, and then there's a cop running down the street, like, okay.
And there was only I guess about one photo of her.
Yeah, one hideous troll-looking photo, which makes you think, why? I'm gonna have to find that.
She is a handsome woman.
It's easy to find it. It's on the wiki page.
And we'll get to that. And it's just the shots are very out of place. He used a lot of roses that were on fire, a baby in a carriage in a bassinet that was on fire, and it's just like, Like, all right, in a Terrence Malick film, we'd buy it, but you're not Terrence Malick.
No.
And this is terrible.
What was his name? H-O-H?
So,
O.H. Okay. Good little Gil.
What is his? What was it?
what's his name?
The director's name was O. Krill. I guess that was O.H. Krill. Huh. O.H. Krill.
Thank you, Lil Gil. Which brings us to the next point of
Written and directed by.
Written. Let's talk about the written portion. So about halfway through it, you discovered on your phone that you were surfing. You looked up whatever name.
I looked up. I wanted to find out, what the internet said, what Wikipedia said, because I could get a quick, synopsis of who she was and what she did.
Yes.
What I discovered was I started reading along. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm caught up with the film, and I started reading out Wikipedia lines right before they said it in the film. Almost.
They took the Wikipedia page, and that was their script.
Well, we assume it could have been that the script was written and they just made that into the wiki page. Either way,
They took the wiki page and wrote the script.
either way, they match.
They match.
Almost word for word.
Okay.
I mean, but if you want to read the page, you can go to the page, or you can check out the movie and get the same information.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can
some
listen to
people-
somebody read it. You don't even
Yeah.
have to read it.
Whenever I wrote a term paper in high school, they made this movie the same way.
I plagiarized better than that.
Yes.
I kind of wrote my papers the way they made this movie.
Yes.
I read it, I'd write it kind of word for word. I'd change a few things to make it sound like me, but it was pretty much straight from the textbook that I was taking.
So for me personally, I love documentaries. I love things about serial killers. I love history. I love watching that stuff. I started going into it. I was giving it way benefit of the doubt. I was like, at least I'm interested in the subject matter. As we started seeing the imagery, as you started reading the script 2 seconds before the lines came out, it quickly starts declining. and and I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just like,
And it was only an hour.
it was
And
only an hour.
We started to feel that hour. Like, is this still? It's
Yeah.
got to be getting close to.
Well, it seemed like whenever you would in a documentary, what I like is when you have like some sort of authority on the subject.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they do an interview with
Yeah.
them. They give a bit of that in their own words.
None of that.
And then they have reenactments or some sort of dramatization of it. Like the stuff that did look like they shot it for this, it was just like you said, it was a bassinet on fire, or a candle,
Yeah.
or roses on fire, or some hands, tying a knot and choking a baby.
Yeah.
And I would have wanted to have seen more,
As would I.
as
As would I.
like a more creative storytelling.
And we didn't see, and not that there would be two sides to the story.
No.
What she did is awful and unthinkable. But most documentaries, we get an authoritative figure giving their opinion, and maybe you give one person given the opinion of maybe psychologically why she would do it, and then maybe some other person who would be like, for the time, there's a lot of people doing this. And have maybe two things going on. Not one clarifying or trying to rectify what she did, but
No, but it would actually change up just the monotone
Yeah.
voice that was just reciting lines.
We'll let you
Yeah.
know how, because she went into asylums off and on, because I guess
Yeah.
she worked at one, so she knew how to kind of play the system.
Well, it doesn't even have to, like, if you had, like, a historian that knew about baby farms, it doesn't have
Yeah,
to
baby
really be an
farming.
authority on this lady. It could just give you,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Baby
what the world
farming
was like
was,
at that time and why people were in the market of having baby farms.
But aside from the movie itself, the main menu is one of the worst menus I've ever heard. Or seen, I'm sorry. and heard. It's like a bloody hand with a baby crying. It's awful. It's the worst menu of all time. And
Didn't even loop like it.
it didn't even loop,
Like it goes
which
through-
I believe it does automatically. Those are the default settings, is to loop. So that, and then at the end of the film, it culminates with just facts. And the facts are how every country in the world killed children and babies.
Yeah.
It's like the Inuits threw them into the ocean. It's
Well,
like
every civilization has infanticide.
I think I already checked out at that point. I was eating a bag of chips or something.
it was. It was a depressing note to end
I
on. It
couldn't
was.
check out because Jeremy was yelling about it.
I was getting annoyed. To say the least.
I mean, the only good thing, it did bring to light an interesting bit of history. I mean, it's terrible. This lady like killed
terrible act.
400 babies. She just killed babies.
Well, that's also speculated because they never
got a
they
accurate
didn't
She-
really know accurately how many.
Went to trial over one. I guess there was one that they knew that she killed, and
She
she
got
was.
set up or something like that. That was kind of fuzzy to me.
Yeah, but I don't know. But anyway, we need to get the review to the score.
To the poops.
To the poops.
To the poops.
To the definite poops. So the poop scale, 5 poops, you loved it. 1 poop, you did not care for it.
Yep.
Anybody care to start? Dan.
I'm gonna give it 2 poops. The reason I'm giving it 2 poops is because they actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that took a little bit of work, and it was an interesting subject, even though that they didn't necessarily tackle it the best way that it could be tackled. They did bring the story out to expose that to people that are willing to watch it. I guess we're a little bit harsher critics because we love cinema, and
Good and
it's-
bad.
Yeah, I mean we love equally, but I think I'm giving them 2 poops for trying and actually bringing this because it is a story worthy of being told.
All right.
I just think they could have done it a little bit better.
Steven?
For me, I mean, what interests me about the making of this is they took what they had. They had everything kind of free. They had the free story from Wikipedia. They had like archive footage, probably the music. Everything was free, and they put together something, which I give them kudos for that. I mean, they made a product and they sold it to the world, which interests me. Like I kind of wish, I wish I could put something together and make a quick buck off that. But I didn't enjoy. I imagine like I could see like a 40-year-old guy watching stuff on TV one afternoon. He likes this stuff, sit and watch and be interested. But I did not. I wasn't interested. I get 1 poop.
I give this 1 poop because, yes, it accurately describes my feelings. Because of the information got out there, like you said, they got the information out there to people. I appreciate documentaries, so that's that's my poop. And I really hope that this team or this director, whoever was in charge, I hope that they were the ones who uploaded this information to Wikipedia. If they just took the Wikipedia page and made a script out of it, then that's really disappointing and really unacceptable, I guess. Stock images didn't really make sense half the time. Cut into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Terrible menu. And
You hate that movie?
I think after I found out it was on Wikipedia, it kind of made me more interested somehow. Like, what? I was like, can't believe this.
so that's where I stand. 1 poop. That's where I stand.
Well,
That's
well, if you don't take our word for it,
But you don't have to take my word for it.
see
Give
for
it a
yourself.
watch. Yeah.
It's available on, is it Chemical Burn or
Yeah.
Sector 5?
Sector 5 Films. I think that's through Kim.
If we can find a link, we're going to put that somewhere for you to check out. Copy and paste it or click it if you can do that. And probably put some subscribes on here. Subscribe to us.
Yeah.
comment.
We do reviews all the time
Yeah.
for you. the
Review
people.
our review. If you hate it, tell us. If you love it,
Tell us what to change, and we'll probably not change it. But
Yeah.
I'll
tell
wash
us.
my face next time. Who knows? We're crazy.
See you next time.
All right.